Hey everybody, welcome back to another weekly video. Today we're going to cover some crypto analysis. Of course, we're going to check in on Bitcoin, see what it's up to. And then we're going to talk about how you can make passive income simply by holding cryptocurrency. That's this week on Crypto, Future of Finance. All right. So here we are, Bitcoin 4-hour chart. What's going on with Bitcoin? And in the group, I mentioned the CME Futures gap. So there's a couple companies that sells futures, Bitcoin futures, and CME is one of the big ones. So whenever there is a gap or an area of price, a price range that hasn't been filled yet, then market makers send the price to that area for the gap to be filled. Okay? So this area right here, this 54K area, this is where the gap is at. And the more you pay attention to Bitcoin and you start seeing news, the more you're going to see or hear about the CME Futures gap. So right now we're sitting at a price of 58,357. People in the past believed that the price around this time would be at 54,000. That's what they're betting on. That gap's got to be filled at some point. It's not going to happen today unless we have a huge drop in price. We thought it was going to happen around here. It would have been great if it happened around this area here at this price point around the 56K and would have dipped down really quick and then bounced up. That would have been nice. But instead, it's moved up in price. So when it does come down, we have a farther fall, basically. So this is the arc that it's been taking, and somewhere around in here, potentially, because 90% of the time the gap is filled. Now, it doesn't mean that 100% of the time, it just means 90% of the time. So odds are pretty good that we're going to see a $55,000 or $54,000 Bitcoin right around in there, sometime in the near future, sometime over the weekend, possibly Monday, Tuesday. No one really knows, but it will most likely happen sometime soon. So we do have a lot of resistance up here in this $60,000 range, between $60,000 and $61,000 up in here. Bitcoin has tried to break above that level over the past week or so and hasn't been able to really. We had a little bit here, but it wasn't sustainable and it fell back down. This particular trend line is something that is a much larger picture, which I'll show you in a minute. But it has been respecting this trend line for quite a while now. So if it comes down to the trend line here, it's going to have to dip below. It's going to break out. And it's eventually going to happen. It's eventually going to break out of this trend line here because it is part of a larger pattern. And that pattern is an ascending channel on the daily chart. So each one of these candles represents one day. Okay, so you can see, and this is a valid pattern because we have a touch here and a touch here. That's 2 on the top, and then we've got 3, 1, 2, and 3 on the bottom. So in order to validate a pattern, you want 2 touches on one side and 3 on the other. So we have a valid ascending channel here, and we have a 64% chance of it breaking out of the channel to the downside. 64% chance. So odds are that it will break at some point out of this channel and with the fact that we've got the CME Futures gap here at 54,000 like a magnet, it's possible, quite likely, that it's going to draw the price down out of this channel, hit that $54,000 mark, and then most likely bounce off of that and back in to this channel. That is based on the history and crypto analysis. That is the likelihood. And then what will happen is we will retest this level here, this 60K level, hopefully break out of that level, go past the all-time high, which is up here at the almost 62,000, so 61.8, 61.9, depending on the exchange you were looking at, breaking out above that, and then making our way up to 70K. If we follow the pattern, eventually we will hit the top trend line at some point, which could be up here, in which case we're looking at an $80,000 Bitcoin sometime in the future. Don't know exactly when, but it's likely to happen. Currently, if we look at our indicators down here, we have falling volume. So when the volume is falling and the price is falling, then we can expect another red candle here, which again may take us down to that $54,000 level to fill that gap, and then hopefully we get a bounce right out of there. We have on the, again, we're looking at the daily chart. On the stochastic RSI, we've got a bullish cross right here, but it's in the middle. This could curve down or it could continue higher, and we could get a little bit of a pump and then a break lower. On the MACD, which is down here, our MACD is descending. So each high is lower. So we're headed into the bottom of the graph here, and at some point it's going to turn up. And when it does, you can see how the turn up correlates with a large spike in price. Right here, and here. So that is Bitcoin. That's what's going on with Bitcoin right now. If you are a long-term or mid-term holder, then you really don't have much to worry about. But if you're trying to focus in on the daily price of Bitcoin and you're day trading, then this is something that you definitely want to be concerned with, because if you go into Bitcoin here thinking that it's going to bounce and go higher, I wouldn't make that bet just now because of this. We need to make sure that we get past the expiration of this or it gets filled. Either way, that would be a much safer buy-in opportunity because then we would receive a bounce, and you could get good returns. But that's, of course, if you're working with large amounts of money as well, because Bitcoin is $58,000, so it takes a lot of money to make a lot of money with Bitcoin as compared to smaller cap coins. And the other things, of course, that we want to look at is the CME Futures chart. So this is the Bitcoin futures. It's on the rise, and that's opposite of the price of Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is moving down. TradingView has this chart available, and there's all kinds of information about the technicals and ideas that people post on Bitcoin futures. I mean, there's all kinds of info talking about the Bitcoin futures and that the gap is still open and that it needs to be filled and what happens when the gap gets filled. So here is something similar to what we were looking at. You have this arcing price coming down, and projection is it's going to hit that 54K level and then bounce off of there. The other things we check is our market temperature. So fear and greed index right now we're at a 70 with the greed. So gas is, or foot's on the gas. We're moving right along, but we're not pedal to the metal the market's moving nicely here, so people are buying and selling. Nobody's really fearful at the moment. And if we were pegged over here in the 90s, getting close to 100, then that is an indicator that the market is about to go back the other direction. So you'd start thinking about maybe exiting your positions, taking profits, and waiting for the next entry, to move up. And then, of course, Bitcoin dominance. Over the last week, we had a decline in the Bitcoin dominance when we were talking last week with our video. So the decline in Bitcoin dominance meant that alternate coins were moving up in price. So people were taking their money out of Bitcoin, moving it into alternate coins. And then we had an uptick, and then we had a slow decline again. And this is where we are now. So Bitcoin dominance, so out of the total market, the Bitcoin's market cap only accounts for 56%, a little over 56% of the overall market cap, which we're hovering right around $2 trillion. And Bitcoin was just over $1 trillion. So again, just over 50% of the overall market. So the next thing that I want to cover with all of you is staking or passive income. So there are many ways to make money in any market, really. Traditionally, with our existing financial market, we have stocks and bonds and mutual funds and commodities, and there are very similar things with cryptocurrency. However, something that is fairly new to cryptocurrency, which it's a very different concept, really. So a lot of us would love to be able to make passive income in a way that's meaningful and significant. Many of us, when we look at these options, we don't have the capital to make passive income. So one of the ways that you can make passive income that's significant would be owning stock that pays a dividend. And many of the stocks that pay dividends, you need to hold quite a few quite a bit of the stock in order for the dividends to make any difference monthly or annually. And traditionally, stocks and dividends, the way that they're paid out, is not congruent with the way we like to do things now, because everything is on demand and instantaneous. So Binance, they've got a really good article on staking. Actually, Binance has what they call Binance Academy. So if you want to read articles about how things work, this is a really good resource. But basically, staking is something that was introduced after Bitcoin was created. So Bitcoin is proof of work, and that's where you have miners. You have people who own computers that are processing the transactions. Once 500 transactions are created, or processed, a block is created. That block is then put into the chain of other blocks from the past. And this actually requires physical work, meaning that a person has to go and buy a computer and set up the computer and plug it into the wall. You're using electricity, and then you've got thousands and thousands of machines that are processing these transactions all around the globe, and they're all using various sources of electricity, and that electricity costs money. So the cost of mining can fluctuate on any given day based on the cost of the resources that are needed in order to process the transactions. That's the term mining. So with proof of stake or staking, you're replacing this whole process of mining. It can be resource intensive. So basically, you're holding funds in a wallet, or you can hold funds on a platform or an exchange. And you're supporting the security and operations of the blockchain. And you're basically locking up your cryptocurrency, and you're receiving rewards for doing that. So this is a really good way of helping a particular network, providing security to the network, but you're being rewarded for that. And you don't have to do anything other than locking up your crypto in any particular blockchain. There's many different currencies out there that offer proof of stake and passive income through proof of stake. So this article goes on to explain in detail what proof of stake is. So this is one way of earning passive income. And again, this is on Binance. Binance also has liquidity pools, and that is it's a cross between staking and mining, and it's called farming. And these are usually short-term processes, anywhere from a week to a month or maybe a couple months. Usually it is done when a organization or somebody has created a currency and they need capital, they need liquidity in their blockchain in order for it to start functioning, because the currency itself needs to be traded back and forth, and that's where you put your fiat money. So you can provide liquidity by going into a pool and doing farming, and the rate of return is much higher. You can see 20, 30, I've seen as high as 150% return, APR return over 30 days. Now that doesn't mean you get 150% return on your overall investment. It just means that the APR, so if you had $100 and the APR was 100%, you would take 100% of your 100, which is $100, divide that by a year, APR, annual percentage rate, divided by 12 months, and if it's only the program is only a month long, then you get 1/12 of that. But still, that's quite a bit of money for a short period of time. So anyway, Coinbase is another place that's pretty good as far as education. They have a lot of interesting videos, and they're really big on educating the populace because, of course, they want you to join their platform. And you can earn staking rewards on Coinbase. Coinbase wants you to put your crypto on their platform. They want to hold it for you, just like a bank. The bank wants to hold your money because it can be used. And with the crypto market, because most cryptocurrencies are non-inflationary, the rate of return is quite high. So Coinbase can be another good place for that. Another place for passive income would be on platforms like Bitrue. Bitrue is another exchange like Binance, and they have a program called the Power Piggy. So you just go to bitrue.com, and then you go over here to Power Piggy, and you have the little flare-out term here, staking. Just, it's a keyword just to catch your attention, because a lot of people associate what we're talking about with the term staking. But this is a program that has, initially it started out with just their promotional funds, money that they're using for advertising, a budget that they allotted for advertising to get people to come on their platform. So in the beginning, a lot of people were kind of skeptical because the rate of return was pretty good. All you had to do was just put your coins on the platform and lock in. The first one that's here that's listed is XRP, and all you would do is, now because we're not logged in, there's a line here, where a field where you type in how many coins you want to enter. But this is open to the public as long as you have an account with Bitrue. And by the way, I'll put links in the description for all these different platforms so you can find these really easily. But you would enter in how many you would like to put into the system, and you just click go, and it goes in, and every day it pays you the rate of return based on the number of BTR tokens that you hold. So BTR is a platform token. It's an exchange token. It's their native token, just like Binance has BNB, the Binance coin. Bitrue has BTR. And this is one of the incentives for holding the BTR token. So the more BTR token you hold, the higher rate of return you will receive on the XRP, if that's what you would put into the program, the higher the rate of return on your XRP tokens. So it only requires 10 tokens, 10 XRP to join. They have the public offering, which opens up once a day, or no, excuse me, twice a day. They unlock everything and allow you to join. Now, a lot of times it can be sold out because it is very popular, very, very popular way to earn income. And what they do is they pay you the percentage based on the number of tokens you have. They pay you in that token. So if you have XRP tokens and you put it in the program, they will pay you 5.48% up to 7.26% in XRP. So you'd go to your account every day, you'd see in your transactions the deposit that they made for your APR, your daily, in XRP. So this would be, if you have quite a few tokens, this would be an easy way to accumulate more tokens without having to risk trading. Daily trading or monthly trading, any kind of trading has risk to it. You could sell all your coins on the exchange at a particular price, hoping that the price would fall, and then you could buy back in at a lower price. But if you don't want to deal with that, or if for whatever reason it seems too complicated, maybe you just don't have the time to follow the prices and check all the indicators and decide when you're going to buy back in, and then if you do buy back in, it dips a little bit and then you are frustrated because you missed the bottom. If you don't want to worry about that, you could do something like this, where you just put your tokens in here and you get a nice return paid daily. And because it's paid daily, you can take those tokens that are paid daily and put those back into the program, compounding your returns. Another benefit of holding the BTR token is you can increase not only your rate of return or increase the percentage, but they also have something called VIP cap. So they have a community cap which sells out very rapidly. And then they also have a VIP cap. And your VIP cap is based on the number of BTR you hold. So the more BTR you hold, the higher your the VIP cap. And with VIP, there is no daily time frame when the community cap is opened up. You can just add it at any time. So you don't have to worry about fighting other people or competing with other people to get your coins in the system, because they have a limit on the number of total coins in any particular program or currency for the Power Piggy, and they have tons and tons of currencies here, lots of them, and it seems like every month they're adding a couple more. So you can, if you hold Sun or Uniswap or XDC, XLM, Polkadot, that's a really popular one that a lot of people really like. Another one, of course, would be Bitcoin, or PundiX is an up-and-comer. Even if you're just holding on Tether, and if you've got a bunch of Tether and you're just waiting for your next time to enter back into a market, maybe you've sold a peak and you're looking to get back in and you're holding a bunch of Tether, you can get paid 10.3% on your Tether that you're holding. And again, it's paid daily, and you can take that and put it right back in, compounding your returns, because your APR is based on the average daily balance. And if your daily balance continues to increase, then your return will be larger the following day. So I think you can see how this could be a big advantage. So that is the Power Piggy program on Bitrue. And another one that has a similar program. Well, it's an incentive, I should say. It's a similar incentive, and that is the Kucoin exchange, and they have something for their holders. Their native token is the KCS token, and they have several options. You can lend your tokens out to others and receive anywhere from a 12% to a 300% annualized profit. They have staking pools, and they have soft staking. They have referral bonus, and almost all exchanges have referral bonuses. But the KCS bonus is something that is actually very unique to Kucoin. They're the only ones. They're the first ones to do this. And it is similar to what I mentioned before, and it is like buying a stock in a company and receiving a dividend. But the difference is, oh, of course, they want me to log in. But the difference is that with Kucoin, how this works is they take the daily exchange fees. Okay, so exchanges make money on all of the exchanges that are taking place, all the trading that's taking place. So they take 50% of their exchange fee and they divvy it out amongst all of the KCS holders. So by depositing your KCS token, all you have to do is have the KCS token on the platform. Whether you have it in your trading account or your main account, or if you're into futures, or if you're into trading leverage, wherever it is on the platform that's associated to you, it's counted. You don't have to put it into any special wallet or go into the Piggy, for example, wait for the community cap to open up at a specific time. You just hold the coin on the platform, and you are then distributed 50% of the trading activity goes to all the KCS holders, and it's based on how many coins you hold. Based on the last 6 months, the average APR for KCS has been around 17%. So it's similar to the Piggy, where it's paid daily, and then you can well, actually, you don't have to do anything, because it's paid in KCS. It's paid right to your main account. So again, the system knows how much KCS coin you have, whether it's active in a trade or not. As long as you have KCS tokens, then you get to participate in the daily Kucoin bonus. So you just hold KCS daily, and the highest APR is 15%, or 50%. Sorry, the highest APR is 50%. Over the last 6 months, it's 17.72%. And it's based on the trading volume. So as more people are aware of cryptocurrencies and how to buy and sell them and trade them, more volume will happen, not only on Kucoin, but on all of the exchanges. And I'm sure there'll be others that'll pop up. But these are really, really easy ways that you can make passive income. If you have received an inheritance, for example, and you've been trying to figure out what to do with your money, because the banks, they're really not paying much. To me, this is a no-brainer. So the more people that know about this, the more people are going to start buying various platform coins, exchange tokens. The more volume that's going to be happening on the exchanges. Not only with this particular program, but with all the others, when you hold an exchange token, that token goes up in value. So as more people put money into that particular token, the market cap increases, which increases the overall value of the coin. So while you have, if you were using, for example, the KCS token on this platform, and you were just simply holding it, and you're receiving the KCS bonus, the coin itself is moving up and down in price. As more and more people put money into the coin continues to move in price, and your bonus is based on the number of coins you hold. And your bonus is paid in the KCS token. So every day you receive more tokens, which increases your return. So it's compounding. It's just a snowball effect. I'll leave it at that. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Here in Utah, it's the last weekend of the ski season. Spring is definitely here. I can't wait to get out and start riding my dirt bike. I've been pent up all winter. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and hopefully we'll see each other in the group. If you haven't joined the group, go ahead and go to facebook.com/groups/crypto future of finance. You can find us there. There's also a link in the description where you can join our group, and I recommend that you do that. And if you have knowledge to share with us, please, we welcome that. And you guys, we'll see you next week.